Legitimately treat this like it's a storefront that opens and closes every single day, and you are going to show up for it and do the activities. You're going to have tremendous, much more success than treating it like a hobby.
I have two. Number one is never, ever, ever comparing yourself to someone else. And I know that it can be hard to sit there and hear someone share numbers and say, oh, I recruit this many, or I hit this many Success Club points, or I invite this many. But the truth is, you don't want to do what someone else did because you're a completely different person and you appeal to a completely different audience. And it is the biggest time waster to compare yourself to someone else because even just the 10 of us sitting here, we're all so different from such different backgrounds, families, everything. I could never have the same success that Amy has or Lindsay has or anyone else up here because I'm not them. You want to do you, and you want to do you really, really good. And it's only going to harm you if you're looking at everybody else's papers. So keep your blinders on and your non-negotiables every day, your 3 vital behaviors times 30, and only do you. No one else does you as good as you do.
I would say for me, since I'm such I always have 10 things going on. I'm an Aries. I'm very into multitasking. I have to have tons and tons of stuff happening. For me, just really focusing on the task at hand. I think when I first started focusing and doing what I set down to do versus the notifications and the tings and the thing that I turn off all my notifications on my phone. My phone is always black. There's no notifications popping up, always distracting me. I'm a sapphire, so I if a bird flies by, I'm like, ooh, I get very distracted. And so I remember the first time I sat down to be a focused worker and be productive, I closed every single tab except for my email, and I just went through it, and I was like, oh my god, that took 10 minutes versus 5 hours. And I was able to start working faster and faster and faster and faster, and then I was able to start actually living my life and working versus being stuck on Facebook for 24 hours a day. You're on Facebook 24 hours a day because you're not productive, not because Facebook is sucking your time. Just remember that.
So for me, it's probably been staying in a constant state of growth, not becoming complacent. It's easy in this business. You achieve milestones that you never thought you would achieve. Obviously the financial side of it's ridiculous, but I always want to remember the girl who I was 6 years ago who was lost, and that's the girl that I'm speaking to, and I grow on her behalf because I know the more that I personally grow, the more I can pour into those people that I'm blessed to come across and pay that forward, and I just want to continue to be on that path with this.
So I think there's two things. I think having a plan is so important. You just can't go through this business just sort of winging it. Challenge group here, Monday I'll start doing a sneak peek, next week I'll run a free group. You really have to sit down and have a game plan for your business that you duplicate every single month so you get into a rhythm that you can teach. But then also, I believe that you have to have belief in yourself. And you have to say, against all odds, against all things that have happened in my life, no matter what I look like, no matter what my shape or size is, you have to look in the mirror and say, I believe without a shadow of a doubt I'm going to be successful. I don't know how, I don't know exactly what that's going to look like, but I just know that God created me to do something bigger, and I don't know how I'm going to get there, but I'm going to keep going because I just know that it's within me to do something great. I think when you believe and you have a plan, then you're going to be led on that right path and you're going to have success.
Hello? I have 2 quick ones. One is not letting your current life situations keep you from getting what you want. I got up here to where I am now, being very, very pregnant last year, and there was a minute when I said, no one's going to take me seriously, everything's going to go downhill, it's just going to be a mess, but, I had to kind of gather myself and say, I'm going to let this be my story, and, let your current life situations, whatever it is, help you mold your story and share all of it, share the heck out of it, because there's so many people out there that can relate to you, and that's when my business took off. I thought I was going to be like this fitness superstar at one point, and no, it turns out I found all of my, people, the people that related with me the most is when I, went through my pregnancy and all that good stuff. And my second one is getting to an event or getting to all the events. Summit was my biggest turning point in this business. I kind of went from, Sapphire, who just wanted to go to Vegas, and I get to Vegas and I just soaked up every minute of it. I watched some of these coaches up here on stage, and they were just normal moms, and they were me, and I looked at them and I said, I want that. I'm going to go after that. So much happened at that event, and I will always get myself to as many events as possible to feed off that energy and keep going.
I am going to snowball, and say that I think the biggest thing for me was being open and being vulnerable to sharing my story, because my story is what makes me unique in this business, and it's the same for a lot of you out there. I think I was a guest on my Uplines team call like 5 days into coaching. Pretty sure I spent the whole day in the bathroom before that happened. But it was very scary, and on that call, 5 days as a new coach, I was able to share, overcoming anorexia and bulimia and marriage struggles and things like that. And from that day forward, it was like you just opened the door for so many people to just connect with you and have that common ground with you, and it's a conversation starter. So definitely not putting up a wall and opening up and being you, and hit Success Club.
It's to us, and we're like, what she said. Ditto. I was actually thinking what Megan said, let your struggles be your strength. This is life, you guys. Like, people are unfortunately going to die, you're going to have relationships, crumble, but what you can do for you, you have to work on yourself. You have to fill your cup and grow inside so that you can pour into others, and you can, be the best friend to your, team or whoever, your spouse, whoever that is. Just honestly, show up every single day, no matter what. There's going to be a lot more hard days than there are good days. But just honestly, really, show up every single day. I mean, that's what I've done.
Do I not have the hardest job? I have to sum it all up, but 7 of us did a Success Club, a group thing together. I don't know if any of you guys were a part of that. But yay, that was so much fun. But one of the things that we ended with our little live, see, I'm so bad at that. What is it? Hangout? Is that what we did? We did Hangout. And I had mentioned that I want you should, as brand new coaches or coaches just getting your feet wet, is to be able to stand on a stage just like this, with your shoulders back and your head up, saying, I am a Beachbody coach, and I am so proud to be one. You are so different than anybody else. And so it's not just a matter of you being a part of an MLM or network marketing. You're a coach, you are changing lives, you are saving lives. So put your shoulders back, be proud of it, scream it from the rooftops, and let people know what you do, because otherwise they're not going to know. And so they're going to go to the next person that is going to scream it out, probably one of these 9. So you be the person to scream it out for them to go, I want that enthusiasm in my life, and so that they come to you and become a coach on your team.
So just as we wrap up, 4 vital behaviors. The 4th one that was just introduced was recognition. So our next big event is Super Saturday, and after that our next big event is that we'll be taking these 10 lovely ladies to Bora Bora to celebrate their amazing accomplishments as leaders in this organization.